In 1968, one psychologist published a paper that made every personality test in the world look kind of fake. Quick question. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Most people answer that in about 2 seconds. You just know. But here's the uncomfortable part. The guy who kicked off one of the biggest fights in psychology said, "You're probably wrong." Not wrong about who you are. Wrong about what who you are even means. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why some psychologists think personality tests are basically horoscopes with better marketing. Stick around, because the actual answer is stranger than nature versus nurture. Here's the setup. For most of the 20th century, psychology ran on something called trait theory. The idea is simple. You have a fixed set of personality traits: how extroverted you are, how anxious you are, how organized you are, and those traits are baked in. They travel with you everywhere. Work, home, first dates, funerals. Same you, every room. This is where things like the Big Five personality model come from. Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Score high on extroversion, and the theory says you'll be the loud one at literally every party you ever attend for the rest of your life. Sounds reasonable. Except a psychologist named Walter Mischel actually went and checked. He pulled together decades of behavioral studies, watching how the same people acted across dozens of different situations, and found something that should have been impossible if trait theory was right. People's behavior barely correlated across situations. The person who was calm and controlled in the office was frequently anxious and disorganized at home. The extrovert from the office party was quiet and withdrawn at a family dinner. Same human. Wildly different person, depending on the room. Correlation across situations. As low as 0.2-0.3, Mischel's argument wasn't that personality doesn't exist. It's that we've been measuring it wrong. He proposed something called situationism. The idea that behavior is driven far more by the specific situation you're in than by some fixed internal trait sitting inside you like a hard drive. Which raises the actual unsettling question. If you act one way at work and a completely different way at home, which one is the real you? Mischel's answer, and this is the part that took psychology 20 years to properly digest, that question is broken. There isn't a real you hiding underneath the situations, waiting to be found. The pattern is the personality. Not one fixed trait, a signature. A specific, predictable way you respond to specific triggers. This eventually became known as if-then personality signatures. Not, I am an anxious person. More like, if I'm being watched while I work, then I get anxious. If I'm alone with people I trust, then I don't. That is your personality. Just not the version that fits neatly on a 5-question quiz. Which is why Mischel's work is sometimes called the moment personality testing quietly lost some of its credibility. Not because the tests are useless, they still capture something real, averaged across situations. But they can't capture the thing that actually predicts your behavior in any specific moment. The room matters. A lot more than we like to admit. So here's the reframe worth sitting with. Next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'm just not a confident person," or "I'm just an anxious person," that might not be a fact about you. It might be a fact about the specific rooms you keep walking into. Which means the more interesting question isn't, who am I? It's, which situations bring out the version of me I actually want to be? That's a question you can actually do something about. If theories like this are the kind of thing that gets stuck in your head for days, that's exactly what this channel is for. Don't forget to subscribe and come back every week for a new rabbit hole.